Welcome back into Columbia County today. We are enjoying the sunshine, the good weather. It's good campaigning weather, and with us, Sheriff Jeff Dickerson on the campaign trail today as we speak. And it looks like it's a good door to door Saturday. And how's the campaign going?
Well, we think it's going pretty well. We're out and about today, and we've been getting a lot of good feedback from people, and we're excited.
Now, I see lots of signs, including one on my car, and I want to say again that KOHI has endorsed your campaign for sheriff. I've been trying to figure out how to say that in an editorial, and I'll just say it here on the Columbia County Magazine show again. How about that?
That sounds good to me. I'm really grateful for KOHI's endorsement and support. We've spent a lot of time in these last 4 years trying to build relationships within the community, and I take your support as just a recognition of that fact.
Well, I think it's also a recognition of the fine job that you've done and you and your staff. I mean, budget cuts every year since you became sheriff. That wasn't part of the job description. I don't remember that being talked about 4 years ago.
No, what we thought 4 years ago is if we were able to really establish some really good procedures and policies and teamwork within the sheriff's office, that we would be able to do far and above what the previous situation had been at the sheriff's office. As a matter of fact, even with our budget cuts of 40%, we still have done far and above what had been done before.
And of course, as we talk campaign today now, this is our campaign visit with you. That's a good reason for people to vote for you right off the bat. You've been able to do more with less money.
Yeah, well, we knew we could, and we didn't know how important that was going to be. With our budget cuts of 40%, we've seen.
Well, yeah, that was your original plan when we first talked 4 years ago. You saw some ways to make the sheriff's office way more efficient.
Yes.
And that was even before we knew that, like you just said, that the money would be in short supply.
Right. And as we've moved forward, in the process, I have learned so much about how to make the sheriff's office work with no money. And to the point now that we are bringing in more money in outside revenue than the county is giving us to run the sheriff's office. And
I mean, you got to love that.
well, it's, necessity is the motherhood of invention.
That's right.
And we've had to find a way. We've found a way to cross-train deputies so that we have more capability. We have fewer people, but we have more people who can do more.
All right, now let's talk about the mechanics of that. How did you accomplish that? What specifically, you said we're bringing in more money outside of the county budget than the county budget. So let's define that a little bit.
Well, it's a combination of grants, intergovernmental agreements for services that we provide.
And for those people who don't understand what that is, an intergovernmental agreement means that you have contracted with other governmental agencies to provide services, I assume.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of savings, revenue increase in that realm, and what it was primarily through agreements,
Sure.
But we also wrote a grant for $457,000, a 2-year grant that added 2 deputies to the jail. We've written some other grants for equipment. We bought a bunch of new radios that enable us now to communicate with other entities outside of Columbia County.
Right.
There have been times where we've had to get assistance when we were responding to the Ralph Painter incident in 2011. We had people coming across the river, and now we have radios that can communicate directly with those people on their channels. They can communicate with us on our channels, and no matter where we go in the state of Oregon or up in Washington, we now have radios that can communicate. If we're on a business trip or we're going to training and we see something right away, we can get on there, we can find their channel and get on it. And 90% of the money for these radios, which increased officer safety exponentially, came from a grant.
That is so cool because one of the frustrations, I think, and this goes way back to even the sad events on 2011, September 1st, 9/11, was that a lot of the governmental agencies literally could not communicate with each other.
Correct.
And that was nationally, and we had that same problem, right? When you became sheriff here in Columbia County, we just couldn't communicate.
Not well.
Yeah.
And I mean,
We had
the
analog phones, but and two-way radios, but that that didn't work.
We got the job done
Sure.
that day, but it was, in looking back at it, it does increase officer safety concerns when you
Sure.
can't communicate as crisply and as quickly as you would like to. And so all of these things, I'm on the governor's state interoperability executive committee.
Mm-hmm.
And what we do, commission, I should say, and we look at how to make interoperability, how every jurisdiction can talk to each other. It's so
Right.
critical, and it's a national mandate that we do that. So
Sure.
I'm pleased to be on that commission, and
That's another reason for people to vote for you.
well, I would think so.
Well, you're building this experience and expertise at running the sheriff's office, and let's be honest, you're the incumbent. You've got the experience. You put together a great team. Now the volunteers have even done a commercial here for you on the radio.
Yeah, they have. That's one of the other things we promised to do back in 2008 was to increase the volunteer participation, and we've done that. The volunteer hours at the sheriff's office continue to grow, and we continue to get new people who want to take part in our volunteer
Now, if somebody
programs.
listening to the show now wants to become a volunteer and get involved, how do they do that? Jeff, what's the process?
Well, they can come down to the sheriff's office, 901 Port Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
That we have applications for
Okay.
the various things that we do. We have volunteers in partnership with the sheriff who
Right.
they help us with administrative functions, filing, answering phones, greeting people at the window.
Sure.
They even do some of our concealed handgun licensing process.
Wonderful.
Not all of it, because some of it.
Oh, right. Some of it they can't.
Some of it they can't,
yeah.
but what they do is they relieve the burden of our paid staff so that they can focus on the critical things that have to get done.
Again, the big frustration I think here in Columbia County, and I hear that from probably every county official that I've talked to, is, well, we have this 640 square mile county, and trying to provide equal services across the county is really difficult when you have most of the population based in the eastern, 1/8 of the county or 1/6 of
Correct.
the county. Let's talk about that as a campaign issue, because I know that's been brought up. So expanding services, I think you've done a great job with the crew that you have. And have you talked about more cooperation between the cities and the sheriff's office, or where are we going there?
Well, we continue to work on cooperation with the cities. We've reestablished the connection between the sheriff's office and the board, the Scent board. The sheriff never used to go to that. I go to it virtually every meeting. We all meet as executives, and there's not always agreement among the group, but I'm at the table with them, and we've built that cooperation. On the other hand, we've also upheld our end of the bargain much more. We have more deputies, more employees on, for example, the CERT team, the Critical Incident Response Team, than any other agency. Even though it's not housed at the sheriff's office, we're the leaders in having people on that team. For the first time, we have people on a detective assigned to the Scent team, the Columbia Enforcement Narcotics team. For the first time in many, many years, we put somebody on there because we went out and got a grant to be able to put somebody on that team. So we continue to work with local the cities and the police departments. We've built relationships with other sheriff's offices. They've come in and helped us from time to time conduct investigations that are sensitive in nature.
Sure.
We've also continued a good relationship with the Oregon State Police. We've asked them to come in recently.
Which is where you came from.
Absolutely,
Right.
and I have good relationships with the state police, and we're very excited about the relationship building that we've been doing. At the same time, we've stood on principle for the sheriff's office
Right.
mission, and we've taken up our tasks, and we've done them without expecting help. But when we need help, they're there, and we're not afraid to ask. But we don't want to overburden our relationships.
As we do the show today, and we are getting ready, I think next week the ballots come out, they're mailed out, and we will repeat this show a couple of times, so folks are going to be hearing this over a few times. But you're going to hit the street for the campaign. You're going to talk to the folks.
Yes.
What's maybe the number one and two comments that you get when you do talk to the residents here in Columbia County? What's the feedback so far?
Well, they want to know why they feel like they pay their taxes, and they want to know why the the county, the sheriff's office is hurting so much when they're hurting too, and they don't understand why their taxes aren't enough to be able to provide the services that they would like to see.
Right.
And that's a big
So
question.
how do you answer that question?
Well, the sheriff's office gets 25% of the county budget.
Right.
And the county budget is not, it's only about a third of the county budget, or well, actually not even, it's more like only half the county budget is property taxes.
Right.
The rest of the money that's coming in right now is from state revenue sharing and different.
Sure.
And,
so
and
property
other taxes,
I think in a lot of folks' mind, and correct me if I'm wrong, but people think that, well, property taxes, that pays for everything. That's a mistake.
No, yeah, it only pays for about right now half. It used to pay even less, but
Right.
as some of the revenue has reduced to the county, it's paying more and more of it. But it's not enough
Right.
to do all the things that the county does. We get 25% of those tax revenues. All of Columbia County brings in about $5 million.
Okay.
So we get 25% of that, or about $1.25 million.
And then you have to supplement the rest of your budget. What is your annual budget right now?
Well, our annual budget is $5.7 million, almost $5.8 million.
Okay.
And overall, the county gives us $2.6 million. About about half of that is from property tax, and the other half comes from other
Sure.
county resources.
So my point is you've had to get a little creative here about coming up with the monies to keep growing and operating the way you are and provide the service. And again, we still could use more deputies. We have, only a couple of deputies on duty for a 640 square mile area at any given time. There are more on call, but that's kind of how it works, right? I mean,
Right, yeah.
So we still need more help.
Well, we do, but right now, and this is what I explain to people who ask, we tried to run a levy campaign, and we were unsuccessful. And I took that as an encouragement to get as creative as I possibly can in trying to solve public safety problems in Columbia County. And we've done that. People come up to me and say, "Are you going to?" Well, you've asked me too. Are you going to go for another levy? And
Sure.
That's not something that we're thinking about right now. What we're thinking about is that the voters have said, make do with what you have, and we've gone out and we've actually done that. We're doing far and above what I even thought was possible. And the reason why is we've got staff who've bought into our program and said, yes, I want to do everything that I can to help the situation in Columbia County to be a better place.
Right, but I'm
work.
going to give you a little credit here, Jeff. I mean, that's got to come from the top. The sheriff has to motivate his team to want to do that. So that's a testament to your leadership, your administrative capability as well. And you are a constitutional sheriff, and I think that's a good thing. I think that people respect you, and I think they like the job you've done. And you've got a ways to go, sure, but like you said, you're achieving your interim goals, and that's a testament to the good work that you've done already. So I know you don't say that. You won't say that, but I can say it for you.
I see
It is a campaign here.
Yeah.
We are running a campaign. There's a guy trying to run against you on, I'm not sure what issue, other than the fact that he may just have a few bones to pick, but we won't get involved in that in this program because we try to stay positive. But the campaign going pretty good for you? I mean, good response so far? It seems like it. I see lots of signs.
When I talk to people, I don't get the negativity. Certainly it's out there. You can't face the difficult situations and the difficult decisions that we've had to make without upsetting people, some people.
Oh, sure.
But we can't shy away from that. The leadership doesn't just punt because it's scary and I don't want to make a decision.
You got to run down the field.
We had to do it, and the things we've done have hurt some people's financial pocketbooks, and as a result, they're lashing back. But overall, I think the people in the county understand that it takes money and And I believe when they see how much we're doing with the limited resources we have, and that's my job, is to get them to see just what we're doing.
And that's really the message of your campaign.
It really is.
That's what you're taking to the folks.
Yes.
We are totally out of time. Sheriff Jeff Dickerson, how do people get involved in your campaign? Because this is the point where people start thinking campaigns, races. We're coming up on November 6th here in a few weeks. If we want to get involved with your campaign, how do we do that?
DickersonForSheriff.com is the easiest way. DICKERSON, the number 4, and the word sheriff, SHERIFF.com.
And, of course, you're available 24 hours a day, right?
I always am.
That's it. All right. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Marty.
Take care. We will be back with more here on Columbia County Magazine. Stay with us here on AM 1600 KOHI.